Sometimes the biggest, most important ideas come in the absolute strangest packages. Today, we're going to look at how one really weird-looking fruit can tell us a huge story, a story about biodiversity, conservation, and a whole new way of thinking about farming. All right, get a load of this. It's called the Jungle Jalebi. I mean, with those bright pink and green coils, it looks like something you'd find on another planet, right? But this thing is very real, and it's been quietly growing in tropical climates for centuries.
So what on earth is it? The name makes you think it's some kind of candy, but its look is all natural. It's kind of like a little secret from the jungle, one that, believe it or not, holds some pretty fascinating answers about the world around us. Okay, so let's dive in and get to know this twisted little summer fruit a bit better.
First off, it has a ton of names. Scientifically, it's Pitheceliobium dulce, but you might hear it called madras thorn or Manila Tamarind. Its most famous name, though, is Jungle Jalebi, which comes from Hindi. And here's the cool part. That name is perfect because it's coiled up exactly like a jalebi, which is this really popular, swirly Indian sweet. So does it taste like a fried dessert? Nope, not even close. And even though one of its names is Manila Tamarind, it's not really sour like one either. The pulp inside, which is this kind of white or pink stuff, has a totally unique flavor. It's sweet, but also a little tart, and it's got this light floral thing going on, with a slightly vinegary finish. It's a really complex and surprising taste for sure.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The fruit is just the beginning of the story. The tree it grows on, it's an absolute powerhouse of utility.
Okay, now check this out. Pretty much every single part of this tree is useful. The bark, it's been used in traditional medicine for things like dysentery and for tanning leather. The leaves are used for pain relief. You can cook the seeds in curries, and the oil from them is used to make soap. Even the wood and the gum have their own jobs. I mean, this tree is basically a self-contained, all-in-one resource. It's incredible.
And it's not just about what it does for people. The tree is also an amazing ecological ally. It's a nitrogen fixer, which basically means it makes the soil healthier just by being there. Its thorny branches are so dense, they make a perfect natural fence to keep livestock in. And, this part is crucial, it's super tough. It's drought tolerant, it can grow in bad soil. It's exactly what you want for really challenging environments.
So, okay, we have this unbelievable, versatile plant. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the problem. Like so many of nature's hidden gems, we're losing it.
Yeah, the Jungle Jalebi tree, which used to be all over the place as a natural fence for farms, is now becoming really hard to find. As our cities get bigger and farmland gets cleared for development, this amazing piece of our agrobiodiversity is, well, it's just vanishing.
And this brings us to a huge challenge. As this research puts it, we can't just try to protect nature in a bubble. We need solutions that work for everybody, for the environment, for the economy, and for people, all at the same time. So the big question is, how in the world do we actually do that? How do we build a system that makes a tree like the Jungle Jalebi valuable enough to save? Well, the answer might actually lie in a model that completely rethinks what a farm can even be.
Let's talk about this idea, agro-tourism. Basically, it's where farming and tourism team up. People come to a farm not just to look at it, but to really experience it and learn from it. And by doing that, they create an economic reason for that farm to use sustainable, conservation-friendly practices.
And to see this in action, we have to talk about a place called Saguna Baug in Maharashtra, India. This place was founded way back in 1985, and it's basically a living laboratory for this stuff. They do everything: organic farming, beekeeping, fish farming, and they even pioneered a no-till rice farming method that's way better for the soil. They've turned all these amazing practices into an experience for visitors.
Okay, so that all sounds really nice, right? But does it actually, work? Does visiting a farm really change how people think and act? Well, lucky for us, we have the data. And yeah, it does. So some researchers went down to Saguna Baug and surveyed 65 visitors to measure what kind of impact the farm actually had. They wanted to see if this whole agro-tourism thing really led to a deeper commitment to conservation. And the results were pretty stunning. They found a Pearson correlation of 0.82. Now, for those of us who aren't stats nerds, that number is huge. It shows an incredibly strong positive connection. The more the visitors got involved in the farm's activities, the more they understood and cared about conservation. It's a direct link. But they didn't stop there. They also got a t-test value of 4.72. What that number proves, statistically, is that the farm's educational programs had a massive impact. Visitors who participated didn't just have a nice day out. They left with a stronger, measurable commitment to live more sustainably themselves. And you can see it right here in this chart, plain as day. The visitors who went to things like the guided eco-talks, they showed a way higher commitment to conservation than the ones who didn't. It's not just a visit, it's an education that actually sticks with you. So what does this all mean? The cool thing is that Saguna Baug isn't some magical one-off success story. It's a model that can be copied. The study lays out a blueprint. Expand the educational programs, get local communities involved, keep making the conservation activities better, and always monitor the impact so you can keep improving. It's a roadmap for making conservation pay for itself.
You know, this whole journey started with one strange, twisted fruit. But the Jungle Jalebi shows us that the solutions to huge problems like biodiversity loss might be waiting right in our own backyards, in the plants we've overlooked, and the local knowledge we've forgotten about. So that leaves me with one last question for you. What hidden treasures are waiting to be rediscovered where you live?